So task number 8 was finished in the last video, and we've done the introduction finally with to the Burp Suite proxy. Now we are going to proceed to task number 9, connecting through the proxy, Foxy proxy. Interesting. So Foxy proxy is, I believe it's available for both Firefox and Chrome. I'm not really sure, but I'm sure it is available to Chrome because I have it installed in here. Again, let me make sure that I'm recording. Alright, so you've seen the theory. Now it's time to start using the proxy for yourself. Let's actually use my Burp Suite here, because I don't want to use the embedded browser or the browser that's inside their attack box, which is the community edition. So we're gonna start a temporary project, everything by default. Full screen mode. There are two ways to proxy our traffic through Burp Suite. We could use the embedded browser. We'll cover this in a later task. So I'm going to do the private window, or we can configure our local browser to proxy our traffic through Burp. This is more common, and so will be the focus of this task. Now proxy, Burp proxy, or Broxy, which is the combination of Burp proxy, works by opening a web interface locally on 8080. As implied by the fact that this is a proxy, we need to redirect our browser traffic. We can do this by altering our browser settings, or more commonly by using a Firefox browser extension called Foxy Proxy. So you just go on to get Foxy Proxy and add it to your browser. So let's see. Downloads, proxy. So you have it for Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Internet Explorer, and all the major browsers. I have it installed in Chrome, but I'm not actually using it too much, because I usually do my testing in Firefox. Now, Foxy allows us to save proxy profiles, which I have them over here, meaning we can quickly and easily switch to our Burp Suite profile in a matter of clicks. For example, use proxy for all URLs, use proxy for this IP, use this proxy for all URLs, use proxy defaults, or disable. So I could just use proxy for all URLs instead of, by default, you would go to settings and then you would go to advanced, I believe, or not, system. So Chrome is using proxy settings from an extension. If I go disable, open your computer proxy settings, let's actually see where network settings, extensions, security and privacy, security. Not even sure where you enable it in Chrome, which is hilarious because I haven't used it. Let's see, proxy. So this actually means that Chrome has outsourced their proxy to the system itself. Is it really like that? Because you have security and privacy, which is where in Mozilla. So in Mozilla, if you go to settings, you scroll all the way down to network settings, and this is where you have it configured. But if we search for network here, if we search for proxy, it appears that it uses the system. use a proxy server setup, and this is where you're probably setting it up for the entire system, maybe. Or let's see what they say. Instructions to use your proxy with Chrome without any browser extensions. So you go to settings, show advanced. So I went into the advanced settings and into the system, right? Network. So settings, Chrome settings, advanced. There's no such thing, right? Accessibility, language, downloads. Yeah, this was for probably Chrome for Windows 95 or something. Proxy Chrome settings, Windows 11. Let's see what these guys have to say. So I'm actually dodging a little bit off of the main theme of the video, but I believe this actually has to do with what I'm doing in there. So it appears that, as they say, it's been moved to Windows. In Chrome, settings, advanced. In the system section, open your computer's proxy settings. So it's what I said, which is there is no reason for actually going into more detail into this. I don't want to set it up via the system itself. I've already had it set up via Firefox. So all instructions will be given with Firefox in mind, which is really good. This is the default browser for both Kali Linux and the TryHackMe attack box. So let's see. If you can't get the proxy working in your local browser and do not want to use the attack box, then you may wish to skip ahead. Alright, the basic edition, so you set up the proxy, the Foxy proxy. I don't want to talk about Foxy proxy here. Why did it go away? Extensions. Regardless, once installed, because I disabled it, that's why. So again, manage extensions, and then Foxy proxy, if I enable it is going to appear here. Options, you have the options over here. If you want to use it, I would rather recommend you first learn how to use the browser settings themselves. So when you add a new proxy, you just click on the add new proxy, and then you actually input 127.0.0.1, so 127.0.0.1 port 8080. Let's actually see the one that I have for Burp, which is added. So 1270 SOX 5. Let's actually make sure, or not necessarily make sure, but let's actually compare them with what I have set in Firefox. So the host is the same. Also use this for HTTPS. I don't see any option here. Where are the settings for HTTP, SSL, and SOX? File not found. Regardless, you see what I'm talking about. I wouldn't use an extension. I would just use the browser itself in Firefox, or the system itself, the proxy settings for the system when it comes to setting it up for Chrome. So let's fast forward through this. You've intercepted your first request. Let's actually, we have this already fired up. We have the target, and we've already have intercepted stuff from Firefox. If we look into the HTTP history, there's a lot of communication going between myself and Firefox servers. All of this is just Firefox traffic. So the option, read through the options in the right-click menu. There is one particular useful option that allows you to intercept and modify the response to your request. The option to what? So it's in the drop-down. I'm not really sure what they're talking about. Read through the options in the right-click menu for Foxy Proxy. There is one particular useful option that allows you to intercept and modify the response to your request. Global settings. Is there anything about the response here? Proxies, global settings, import, export, quick add. Are they talking about Foxy Proxy or what? Foxy Proxy options, these look different from what I have, right? Options, they do look different. I wonder why. Is it because I might have a different one? So Foxy Proxy is the same thing. Let's try and see if it's different in Firefox. And then I'm actually going to disable it. Allow this extension to run in private mode. Options. Import settings. No. Back. Export settings. Import proxy list. Export. Nope. Add. Proxy IP address or DNS name. Would that one be? As you can see, this is different from what I have. The option is in a drop-down submenu. Drop-down submenu. I'm just going to remove this extension. It's different from what we have here. The option is in a it's probably here somewhere, options. So they might be talking about the burp, not this one. Intercept server responses. They're asking for useful option that allows you to intercept and modify the response to your request. Which is in the proxy options. Intercept server responses. It's interesting. Let me actually pause the video and try to figure it out. Yeah, so we're recording. As I was looking at a write-up, I understand that they're talking about the burp feature here in the intercept section. And when you actually have the intercept on, and there's a request, like for example, refreshing this page, you actually right-click, and there's an option to do intercept response to this request, which is what they were looking for. And that's interesting. It would have taken me a while because to actually figure out, because this is very not specific. This is very unclear. What are you talking about? Burp Suite? Are you talking about Foxy Proxy? What the hell are you talking about here? So whoever created this machine, Mural and Oracle, you should be more clear when it comes to. So far I'm really satisfied with what you've done here, but when it comes to this particular issue in task number 9, you should be more clear. What do you want? Do you want, or you should be more clear to what are you referring to? Are you referring to Foxy Proxy, which is task 9 all about, or are you referring to the intercept feature in Foxy Proxy? So be more clear, dude. Okay? Response to this request. You've done a great job with the machine overall, but this is as a side note to keep in mind when you create more machines, or if you have the option to edit this machine and actually be more clear to it. Probably no one complained so far, so I'm probably the first one. Mind me. Try installing Foxy Proxy. I don't. And have a look at the pattern matching feature. So where is it? It's over here in Quick Add. They have a pattern matching feature. So whatever, I think it's disabled. I've removed it from Firefox, I believe. Extensions, where are the extensions? Settings, extensions, extension. I don't think we have any extensions except Foxy Proxy that I'm going to remove. I do have JS Beautifier and Firefox multi-account container, which is extremely useful when it comes to testing for authorization issues. Now going back into what I've said here, so let me actually complete this one. So task number 9 is complete. What I want to say is the key takeaway. So this entire video of 15 minutes, scratch that, 18 minutes. The key takeaway from this video is that to set up your browser, most specifically to set up Firefox to work with Burp Suite, just go to Firefox settings. So over here, settings, scroll down all the way to the bottom. This is as of March 2022. Go to network settings, manual proxy configuration 127.0.0.1, which is the local. Also use this for HTTPS. I use SOCKS 5, and I also enable DNS over HTTPS using the next DNS provider. And I also have this proxy DNS when using SOCKS 5 checked. This is my best practice so far. So that's the main takeaway from this video.